Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Mexico. My name is Evil Dragon. Joining me in the comment box is a person who was coughing very badly just then. I think he's okay. It's my good old buddy Ben. Hello. Bren, should
Brendan.
I say? Brendan. We'll get there in the end.
I am doing well apart from the coughing. So, yeah. So, after a decent race in the first last week in Japan, it'll be interesting to see, will the same form part that we saw in Japan, will that translate into Mexico?
Yeah,
It's infamous. I believe it was Jamie who won last week.
Yeah. Of course, your role from last week was Jamie Rageman, infamous Jacko Sullivan, Alex Lilliard, then of course TJ Matthias. Then it was Storm, then I had a Jason as well, of course, Jason, Jess, Kingan, Proverb, Aiden, Indecisive, Smith, you having a giggle, mate, Waze, Pav, and Joe all did not finish, did get no points. Pav and Joe both got disqualified last week as well, of course. I believe that was due to infringements. I believe something with the Taz, I believe that was for. But of course, like I said, it is the Ferrari of Jamie, who won his first race in a long, long time, by the way. He's actually is his first race win, from my understanding, by pure pace. He's won it on penalties, I believe, once before, but it was his first race as well. So he is, of course, leading that championship on 20 points ahead of course, Rageman on 17th and Infamous on 14. So the top guy is extremely close. And I tell you what, this season already looking like we're going to have a topsy-turvy one.
Yeah. It could go anyway here, and in Mexico this evening, it's quite often the case where a two-stop is nearly the best strategy anyways. Obviously, it is minimum two stops here, but in this case, it'll probably be nearly, even if there wasn't the two-stop rule, you would have people going for the two-stop.
Yeah, most certainly. It's going to be one of those circuits where anything can happen here, and it usually most certainly does. And, of course, throughout a season, what is going to be up and down, left and right, we are, of course, at Mexico City, what is probably one of the more famous circuits in Formula 1. Used to host races back in the 1960s, all the way up till, I believe it was either the late 80s, or it might have been just ever so slightly into the early 90s. Of course, then went into disrepair for quite a long period of time, came back in 2015 on a circuit which still resembles the old one. Of course, only one or two little key changes. That, of course, the stadium section, which goes, of course, inside of, guess what, the stadium. The old corner, by the way, used to go around the outside. That is used by the Formula E, by the way. And it's quite a fun little circuit, in my opinion. What's your opinion on this track?
The track is very nice, as you do have a long straight where you were able to overtake, but you also have an opportunity to fight back if you are the one being overtaken. And the atmosphere usually in Mexico in real life is very, very nice. So, honestly, it is a game, and honestly, it should still be a very good track, nearly better in the case in the game, because you probably don't really have the real life effects. I believe Mexico, you've got it's fairly high up in terms of sea level, so you end up having to put on a lot of downforce just to get a little, because of the way it just works.
Yeah, most certainly. It's one of those circuits where, like we've seen before, so easy to make a mistake, so easy. That run down to turn one of the longest pretty much one of the longest in general, actually. I think it is, we're talking about a circuit which is, I believe, something at least of, I think it's 2.6 miles, I think, actually, the circuit length, if I'm not mistaken. 4.304 kilometers around a circuit which runs itself all the way in Mexico City. Fun fact about this circuit, by the way, it does have a little oval, of course, down there as well. You can see it occasionally turn down, just on the exit of the pit lane is where the oval is. Not banked oval, a flat oval to see it as well, of course, but soon enough we'll still get racing for here in Mexico. I think a few people starting to ready up in the background, and that's always nice. We like getting everyone readied up.
Well, we are going to be ready to go very, very soon.
Indeed. So, we're waiting on Storm to ready up in the background. I think he's the last one who's not readied up. So, anytime Storm, and then we can get ready to go with 10 seconds to spare. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And without further ado, we are in the loading screen. Our favourite thing. Here we are. This is the loading screen. Alright, so that, of course, that is the S section you can see in the background there. That is, I believe, that's turn 7A. That's the S's. It's the actual corner name for that as well. And, of course, you can see there, that is the Peralta, the last corner on this circuit. One which we've seen many dramas. That could be an overtaking opportunity in the race, though. If you do it, because that long DRS zone down towards turn number 1, it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be doing what moves where.
Yeah, so you can go for it into the first couple of corners, but you could wait, maybe get the second bite of the DRS, and maybe if you can make your move, then you can you feel like you can pull away after and take the position permanently rather than having to maybe keep waiting and just get over until like an opportunity presents itself. But also if you overtake first, then you can just get re-overtaken, and it can end up being an endless cycle that by the time you actually get properly past, you probably have lost out to those up ahead.
Yes, indeed. Now, according to my TAS, let's see as it loads up in the background, we have 2 people that have been naughty, it seems, on the TAS. That is, according to me, I don't know if you can see it as well on your end, that is the Alpine of You Having a Giggle, and Jess, who was, for some reason, hasn't set the TAS, or of course that might it just being a little bit glitchy, but those 2 believingly not have set their TAS up, according to me. But knowing me, it will sort itself out in a second and then we'll be fine. But potentially, bit of an issue right there. Jason out of the pit lane to start their lap time. As Matthias also coming out as also first cars on circuit in just about a week's time. It is Jason who is back. He had no internet the last couple of days, which is unfortunate, but he is back.
Yeah, so it is good that he's back then. So it looks like the weather for us here looks like all dry, so there won't be any rain, which is surprise. Well, it's happened before in Mexico from my own experience. So I suppose then with clear weather, much like last week, it will make things just a little bit easier. You'll know exactly what strategy you'll want, not have to be taking into account other variables.
Yeah, most certainly indeed. Well, like, of course, we've got an onboard lap here, and, well, the first car that will be, of course, Whopping Proverb. He is the first driver to start a lap time here in qualifying, and let's get ready then to go. Everyone, a few people on the mediums, a few people on the softs, but let's go out the Peralta and then down the Retta Principale then, down towards turn 1 on the right. You can see that is where the banking goes. You can just see it right there as you pass one of the cars. That is O'Sullivan then. As you come down towards turn number 1, that is the Estes Moses Solana then. Turn number 1 and 2, and chuck it in 4th gear. Chuck it to the right hand, and then just maybe chuck it down in 1st gear if you need it. No, doesn't need it on this lap. Runs it out to the exit, and then all the way then with the DRS down the Recto Tansio then towards turn number 4. And this is the Essa del Lago then. The left, right complex to the stadiums on the left, stadiums on the right, stadiums everywhere you look here around Mexico City. As you come down to into Joaquina then, what is the definite one of the more harder braking zones as well. That could be easy to go off as you now head into the winding S's, of course. Left, then right, and a little more left again. He has invalidated his lap time, but I'll carry on with him for merriness. I think he's actually backing off his lap time right now, but figuring, I believe he's the only driver on that lap. I think, is it Jacko? It'll be Sullivan then. So we're on board of Sullivan as he finishes off.
Smithy's on Chris on the lap here.
Now, Smithy's on the lap. Good spot. Through he comes then, and then down towards the Retta Tel Oval, which I believe means it's part of the oval section. Then chuck it into the right-hander as you come into the Fora au Sol, and of course this is the stadium section. The atmosphere around here probably electrifying in real life. We all remember, of course, Sergio Perez in real life as you come through the Peralta, the last corner. Nice and smooth, and that is a lap round the Hermanos Rodriguez, of course, which is, of course, named after the Mexican Grand Prix winner as well. Infamous across the line in P2, a 1 at 17.9. Next across the line, we've got Prover, was that Matthias, coming across the line to begin his outlap. There's a few people starting to sell lap times as well, and this is so far so good, just into P3 as Kingan up to P2. And so far, fast laps in qualifying complete of the front group, and so far, Smithy on provisional pole.
Yeah, so I'd be happy enough to get the lap in early on, and I see some people electing for the mediums. Obviously, it means you do save a set of soft compound tyres for the race, and it could prove powerful later on if you have the softest compound tyre on low fuel, and you'd be trying to catch people who would have been on their mediums for a good few laps already. That's a whopping proverb, 117.5. Think we'd be happy enough with that in the medium?
Yeah, I think it will be. Meanwhile, we've got a bit of a situation at the last corner. Sully right in the way of Jason. I think both of them are on a lap time right now, as you can see, slightly going wide. Here goes Jason. Was on a good lap time. Goes up to P2. I don't think it'll be best pleased there of, I believe that is, that was the Alpha Tower. Was that the Alpha Tower? Who was that who's going down there? It was a Mercedes. That was a Sullivan there who's beginning his outlap, I believe. Or his stun lap. Was slightly in the way. Kingan, who's got the fastest the fastest third sector. Jason with the fastest first, and it is, of course, Smithy with the fastest second sector. So, a few people on different there. We've got a few people still setting a lap time. We've got Wace and you having a giggle still to set a lap time. Here is Race through the last corner. Let's see what they can do.
Very good here.
Yeah, looks pretty good there on the timing screens. Comes to line. What can Race do? P1 then, 1:15.7. That's a benchmark time for him. You having a giggle through the last corner. Let's see what he can do. Slightly, little bit slower lap time. Should be around about 1:17, 1:16.8. So, not too far for 1:17. But yeah, Waze, that's a stormy lap time from the Red Bull.
So let's see, any more people on a lap? So Jamie is on an out lap, last week's race winner. So we don't have Rageman tonight, so that could be an opportunity lost here with him not being here to race.
Yeah, Infamous in the pit lane. We're looking for to see who is on a lap time right now, if anyone. I believe everyone is on a in-lap currently, so we should be getting a few people coming in right now. We've got a few people on and out lap. We've got Jamie, who is taking new lines through the S's section right now. Last week's race winner, hoping to make it a double whammy then for the Ferrari team, of course, lead the championship. And we've also got a few others, I believe, just coming out, a few people coming in. We've got, and of course, we do have Jamie. He'll be the first, well, the only driver, I think, currently going to be setting a fast lap. So on board with the Ferrari then. A little bit wiggly through the last corner for the Paratalta, but cross the line, and then you just wait. There's DRS right there, and it's a long wait all the way down towards turn number 1, and you can have a drink on this straight, couldn't you?
You nearly could. Well, obviously that's what a drink system is for. Into turn 1, and then 2. Very important. Picking your line through 1 will decide what line you really can take in 2 and 3. And obviously now in the second straight, just like a mini version of the main one. And you make sure you hit the apex, but also hit the apex here. Make sure you get on the power. Now, keep a tight line here, and then make sure once again you have the power on nice. And you just try to take a walk if you can, but without unsettling the car. And it looks like you've managed to not have it unsettled, so that is a good news for him.
Yeah, return, that's good news. Purple Sector 1, Purple Sector 2 on my end, and on the Taz it seems to have lit up the timing screen ever so slightly as well. For the last corner, we come into the Paratalta. Chucks it in second gear, the slowest corner on this circuit, I believe, apart from, I think, turn 7. Cross the line, P3 then for your championship leader, 1:16.623. So that's the first lap time for him. We've now got Smithy, we've got Aiden West also on a lap time. I believe Smith is slightly further ahead on his lap time in sector 1, down in the first sector, 11/100ths down. But of course, it's the second sector you can gain so much more time, isn't it?
Yeah, second sector, and that's what's made the difference for the Red Bull on pole position. As I believe the gap between best second sectors is fairly large, and that's what's making up most of that gap that separates P1 and 2. I see Smithy is improving now, but probably will need to find more than that in order to really fight for pole position.
Let's see then through the last corner. Let's see what he can do. Can he get himself up near the front? Can he improve on his lap time? That's the question. Doesn't look like he's improved. Does a little bit there. Now to 116.2. That was 116.207. Next across the line we've got, looking through it, it would be, we've got Proverb on a lap. We've got Matthias beginning a lap time. We've got infamous Jacko coming through the last sector right now in the Mercedes-Benz, of course. Got a very good result last week. He got on the podium as he comes through the last couple of corners, runs it up to the line. Let's see what he can do. Can he get himself on the 4th row of the grid? Goes up to the 2nd row of the grid. 116.247 for him. So another good lap time so far, as a few people really starting to show their pace now in qualifying.
Well, the yellow flags there, I believe that's just some people keep taking their time getting round. Probably just want to keep the tyres right for the lap here.
Yeah, we're certainly right. Jason, of course, he had an invalid lap time. We've got a few others coming across the line right now. You're having a giggle. Is P6 looking throughout Kinghood, who's currently across the line. He goes up to P2 then in the Williams. So far, the Williams Mercedes up to P2. We've got Infamous, I believe, coming through to end his lap time in the other AlphaTauri. Let's see what he can do. And it's P5, then 1 second up. So lap time starting to ramp up pretty quickly. Matthias through the last corner in the Hassan. Let's see what he can do as well. Goes up to P9. Aiden West, I believe, crossing the line right behind. Stays in P13. Behind Lem, we've got O'Sullivan crossing the line, I believe, next on a flying lap. And let's see what the sector split is. It's 1.2 seconds up for him. And that, of course, on the dashboard shows us that it is green, which is all nice to see as he comes through the chicane pretty much through the very slow, windy section as well. Comes up to the line and let's see what they can do. Crosses it right now and it is P7 for them. Player 10. You having a giggle? Fastest first sector so far as well. They look like they're on a bit of a quick lap. You having a giggle? Green second sector. Let's see across the line. Can he get himself on the second grade? Goes up to only 7th. So last sector lost quite a lot of time there, it looks like.
Yeah, looks like Whopping Proverb had the quickest sectors. Oh, that's someone out there. I believe that is Chris.
Yep, Smith. So what I'm presuming he's done, let's see if we can find someone who's near him. We've got Proverb coming up on the scene of the accident. Now, if it shows us, I'm presuming what he's gone on the inside curb, he's done a swapper and it's gone straight to the outside wall. That's what it looks like. We won't be able to see it because it's gone, but we'll see if we can see any tyre marks. You can see, yeah, tyre marks there going to the right, so he's dropped it on the inside curb, it's flicked him round into the wall. So easy to do though, isn't it?
Yeah, if you don't really have the confidence in your car, it is very easy to just lose it there, and well, that's how you end your qualifying a bit earlier than you'd like. As someone's getting out of the way.
Whopping Prover getting out of the way there, just in the inside of the stadium section. Good to see that. Just getting everyone warmed up. Looking to see who is on a lap time. Giggles coming in the pit lane. Though we did set a second, a purple sector 2 apparently on the Taz. We've got Jess in the pit lane, Aiden West on circuit. We've got Storm in the pit lane still. He's taking his merry time right now as we look to see who is currently next across the line. I think everyone is in the pit. So far, provisional order. It is Waits on provisional pole. Jason in second. King and ahead of Proverb. Smithy would line up in 5th. We've got Jacko, Giggle, Infamous, Sully, Jamie, Matthias, Jess, Aiden West, who is on a in-lap, we believe, so far, and Storm. And it is Jacko who's the only one on circuit right now.
So, it's a Jacko. Honestly, this might or might not be the last lap he does this session. So I suppose he'll need to get it in early and just hope that having a clear track makes a difference. Because otherwise then maybe track evolution will come into play and he may lose out. Despite putting in what would have at the time been a very nice lap.
Yeah, most certainly. I mean, let's see as Jacko begins his lap time. The other Mercedes comes out of the pit lane behind him of Sullivan. But here we are then on board with Jacko as he comes down towards turn number 1. Caps, by the way, you can see on the left of your screen. Everyone within about a second, apart from Aiden, who is 3.3 seconds. So hoping for an improvement during this next lap. But here we are, Jacko, 1/10 up in Sector 1. And this will so far put him P4 on the grid with this lap time so far. What is, though, the crucial thing? Oh, you can see, bit of a twitch there on the curbs is, well, I was about to say, the curbs.
Yeah, curbs here, with speed you can run in the, especially middle sector, you have to treat the curbs so carefully.
I think it's backed out.
In order to, yeah, you may go again, or you might rush into the pits, maybe go for, get some brand new tyres and go for it one more time.
Yeah, and I think it should be good to do another lap, of course. I've got to move my laptop because it's burning my legs, which is a bit unfortunate and a bit odd, but there we go. The legs are no longer burning. He's going to come in the pit lane. That's going to be a quick switch around then from Jacko. So next up will be O'Sullivan then. And that is Michael O'Sullivan, I believe his first name is so far. No, I'm gonna sometime call him Ronnie because I can do that because everyone likes Ronnie O'Sullivan, of course, the legend of the snooker. And you now come down towards turn number 1, and of course late breaking, a few cars coming out the pit lane in the background, but nice and smooth through turn number 1, chucks it in there, second gear. Turn 2 over those curbs. Be careful at low because you don't get floor damage, but again looks quite smooth, doesn't it?
Yeah, look, not too bad. And let's see now. At the end of this first sector, 10 down, this might not be the lap.
Yeah, I don't think that's the lap either. So both the Mercedes drivers, both having a bit of an issue right there. Next to do a lap time, we've got Whopping Proverb on a lap time behind. We've got Jason as well. He's a little bit further back down the field. We've got Infamous on a lap. He's just crossed the line right now. So next up will be Whopping Proverb. 2 temps down though in Sector 1. So I don't know if this is a full-on push lap. I don't think it is, though, does it?
No, doesn't look like it. It's just backing off, the ERS being saved, and it'll be ready for one last attempt, pretty much.
Meanwhile, Infamous, he's purple in Sector 1 then, so here is Infamous, the man who is looking for a good run of form. He is purple Sector 1. We've got Jason, I believe, he's on a warm-up lap. So it is Infamous.
I believe that purple Sector 1 isn't actually proper purple according to TAS, so it is still a nice Sector 1.
Yeah, still a nice Sector 1. Might not be purple, but it's good. He's 4 temps up now, and that is definitely a lot more on pace. That should put him around about P4, P5 on the grid at this current form. Let's see how far off I am for the last corner. Need to make it nice and smooth. Little bit wide though, and you can just see it winding out to the wall. Comes to the line there, let's see where he can go. Can he go? Well, P2, 38 fathoms. He found a huge amount of time in Sector 3, and 38 100ths off a Waze, who has probably released himself there in excitement because he's not been beaten so far.
That's the thing, this Red Bull, oh god, I don't think it's going to be putting in any more laps.
Yeah, Wade's having trouble. Meanwhile, Jamie on a lap time as well. He's just currently coming through the back end of the circuit. We're just picking up on the Ferrari. 4 temps up in Sector 2. And let's see, can he get himself on the 1? He hits the wall slightly on the exit, and he's bailed out. He's bailed out, and I don't know if he invalidated just there as he came to the line. Across the line comes, I believe, we've got a Hassel Proverb. Who is next to do a lap time? We've got Jess on a lap time. We've got Infamous. Let's see what his sector time is as he comes across it right now. It is purple in Sector 2, and Infamous going for a second push lap.
I mean, I suppose he doesn't. I don't blame him. Honestly, he has improvement here. He could be a pole position if it works out. It is. It's pole position.
I'll tell you what, that is a real good shocker then from Waze, who messed his lap up ever so slightly. I don't know if he's going to get another one. I don't think he is. Next across the line, we've got the Mercedes of Jacko is 44 100ths up on his lap time for the last corner. Let's see if he can get it anywhere higher. No, he does not. 34 thousandths up for him. And you've got Race, who is, he's coming for the last sector. I don't know if he's on a lap time, though. No, he's not. 35 seconds out. So, next up, we've got the Alfa Romeo, I believe. Was that the Williams? It's the Alfa Romeo of You Having a Giggle. 98 thousandths down on his lap time. He's invalidated. So, next up will be Keegan. He is a 10th down.
He's not going to...
Yeah, he's not pushing. So, next up is we've got Jason. Is he on a lap time? Having a look at the timing screens, I believe not.
I think we're done.
Yeah, being right that, I think we are done. So Infamous on pole position then from Waste, Jason and Kingan in third. Whopping Proverb ahead of You Having a Giggle, who has not set their tabs up, so I believe apparently coming their way, and I believe Jess also unfortunately hasn't set her tabs up.
Hers is sorted, I think.
It came up, but it did go down. It said it was player 10 and 12, so the Williams and the Alpine might get themselves in trouble. But it did this last week for the Taz. It came up and said they did the lap time, but then it went back down. So I'll be curious to see if it pops back up. But slightly, some issues were right there. But like we said, Infamous, the Irish driver, on pole position ahead of Wace and Jason.
So, good to see an Irishman doing well anyway. So, Nazi, good for the AlphaTauris, 1 and 3.
Yeah, most certainly indeed. And so it is, of course, Alpha Tauri, Red Bull, Alpha Tauri. So technically Red Bull 1, 2, 3, I guess. Williams, Haas, Alpine, Merck, Ferrari, the championship leader down in 10th. Matthias, Jess, Storm, Aiden down there in 14th position. But whilst we are here, as we have a few moments, we'll go through, of course, our sponsors of this season whilst we are getting ready for it. Of course, the sponsors of the league, that is Next Level Racing. They sponsor the league by providing wonderful prizes. Pure Sim Gear sponsor the league by providing a pair of their sim racing gloves. The driver of the most combined poles and fastest laps. To our partners as well, Vespertine, of course, who support our championship prizes. The ERT, of course, the Going Get Tough award. They, of course, award trophies, I believe, to the one who does the best on that one. Of course, SimGrid as well. Power our seasons through their community platforms as well as, of course, where you can get all your lovely standings and everything, which I've only discovered how to find now, which is always good. And I tell you what, it looks quite lovely looking at it on here. And I can tell you, of course, Jamie leads the championship because he, of course, won last week. And, of course, it Rage Man and Infamous, who finished second and third. Guess what? Second and third in the standings.
Yeah, now it's time for the race here, and it'll be interesting to see who those outside the top 10. What tyre will they start on? And even more interesting would be as to what strategy will they use. It'll probably be either soft, medium, soft, or soft, medium, medium, or whatever combination it may be. The question is, will they go for the 2 sets of the red tyre?
Yeah, it's going to be the thing there, is I just want to see if there's going to be any weather. I put the question in the chat, I don't know if anyone can answer it in 7 seconds, but Kingan is retiring. Dry. Thank you, Kingan, you've saved us. So, dry race here in Mexico.
Yeah, that's fantastic for sure. The task is had the weather to dry, I think. It'll be all the way through.
Yeah, so dry all the way through there, but of course I had to move my laptop because it's burning my legs extremely heavily right now. Which is a bit unfortunate, so maybe just get myself a mat for that one next time. But nonetheless, I can see the Taz is over in the corner of my eye there, so I can always have a little glance at it now and then, which is good. We're just waiting for the grid to be set any second. What are we waiting for, game? Here in Mexico, we can see that we got finished. We've got the European Union flag right there. We've got a few flags. We've got the Polish flag. We've got the Mexican flag. Has the lobby broken? There we go, never mind, it decides to work on me now, it's just taking its merry time. Here we are, back on the grid.
Oh, let's see the tyres. It is... Oh, we got a little bit of choice here. Hard tyres for Matthias, softs for Jess, and then mediums for Storm and Aiden West. And obviously all top 10 on the softs.
Yeah, good to see on the Taz, by the way. Now it seems to have synced itself back up, which hopefully means that I was just mistaken and the Taz was just having a moment. But unless I believe someone's changed that for me, I'm not too sure half the time. But nonetheless, it is Infamous who will lead them way on the grid. Waze in second, Jason in third, And then Kingan in 4th in that Williams. They had a whopping proverb. Of course, Haas did not have the greatest week last week. Both of them having issues. They're going to be hoping this week for a upturn of form.
Yeah, and let's see, I'm actually still perplexed by the hard tyre choice for Matthias. Hard tyres are usually never the best out. Obviously, with a minimum of 2 stops, it doesn't seem like the hard tyre is the most optimum of tyre. Honestly, if this is a 1 stop, I would get it. Medium to hard, you'd get a 1 stop done. It might gain you some places. But if you have to do 2 stops, then yeah.
Well, the AWS Tiger off there saying the hard tyres you have to stop before the medium, so I guess that, but like you said, I don't know why you go on the hard tyres unless of course you are just planning to go a lot longer in the first stint, of course. Just stay out, hopefully you don't get in any trouble, and then of course coming for 2 sets of softs around about lap 22 to around about lap 30, and then of course lap 30 to lap 36, but it's an interesting strategy then. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Yeah, we'll have to see. I'll see, there's a lot of choice here. Somebody will get it right and have the pace to work it.
Yeah, indeed. Wait, of course. He's angry. He gave Infamous a toe on his fastest lap down the straight, who ended up getting pole position, so a little bit unfortunate, right? The Red Bull helping his sister team, the AlphaTauri, formerly Toro Rosso, might I say, formerly Minardi, actually, I suppose. Race, of course, that used to be a Stewart, but here we are then, a little bit of, oh, what has happened there of the grid, but we are now going to 4-5 red lights here in Mexico City. When they're off, we are gonna be like down where we go and wait for it to jump start. But look there at the Williams coming through. Both the AlphaTauris could start, but Kingan with a flyer here down towards turn number 1. It's 3 abreast then to come down towards turn number 1. Now it's 2 abreast, and now coming into turn number 1, Jason leads. We've got all sorts of corners. There's a Haas there, we've got Infamous off. Infamous dropping it there. We've got having a giggle at the back, having trouble as well. But Jason leads, Kingham with a storming start in P2, but Wace has blown his chances potentially before we've even started.
That was a bit of a mess there, as Mexico Turn 1 can be. You've got slipstream all the way down to Turn 1, and then a large braking zone for people to try and make moves, and obviously it resulted in a not the best of lap 1s. It's nice of you having a giggle, mate, in the Alpine. It's just not being. They got spun round and, well, in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, we're certainly in a real bit of trouble, but Jason up 2, King up 2. Wade's a bad start. I tell you, also got a very bad start. Infamous as well, having trouble off that start. Got a little bit pinched. In comes Wade, unsurprisingly, to serve that drive-free penalty straight away. But Jason having a good start of this race. Kingan, I tell you what, Jacko and Jamie as well, up 4 and 5 positions respectively. Both of them having a stormy come through the field, keeping out of trouble. Smithy behind, also up 5 positions. Aiden up as well in the Alfa Romeo. So a few people having very good starts in this race. But of course, it is Jason and Kingan leading this race 1 second already. They've broken the DRS chain. Crucially there, as here comes Jamie passing Jacko. Now they're the battle for 4th and 5th position. Jacko there not fighting that one too heavily right now. You don't need to fight it too heavily. Races aren't always won on the first lap of the race. Normally they're on around about lap 36 normally. But, I suppose that is correct. Lap 36 is normally when you're in races. They can see soft, hard, soft tyres. AWS is now recommending, of course, for a 2-stop strategy there. So, quite interesting to see. Now, we do know the tyres are very high deg around here in Mexico. So, I believe it is allowed about like lap 8, isn't it?
Yep, that is it. And obviously lap 2, let's see, some people, they will have profited from this chaos. As you see, a lot of people, Jamie up 6 places. And it's proving that Jamie, despite not the best of qualifying, he is, well, he's doing very well in these races, and that probably played a part as to why he won the first race last week.
Yeah, most certainly that might be the exact reason he won last week. But I tell you what, who is as well. Infamous because of that bad start. Aiden, we've got Matthias, Jess, everyone's still in this race so far. Today, Storm on that medium. We got Wace as well on that set of super soft tyres. He is a long way down, of course. Not as far back as you having a giggle who had to stop for a new nose. So he's got to shed a hard tyres. He'll go to around about that 30, I imagine, and then chuck on that set of soft tyres if he can do it. Or he might chuck on a set of mediums later on. But those hard tyres pretty much going to as far as he can. Kingan looking a little more comfortable right now in Sector 2 as he's closing on to Jason. 4 attempts to gap now. DRS is now enabled. Remember, we are on that 3, so if you are new to Formula 1, it is within a second as yellow flag. And you know what I said? No one's dropped it. No one's out this race. Well, we've got a virtual safety car because that is Storm who has dropped it. And that is in the same place as Sebastian Vettel did in 2015. No safety car, however. Now, I wonder if anyone's going to try and risk it here and go for an undercut.
Oh,
Kingan,
we have someone.
Yeah, whopping proverb.
This might not be the worst idea if you can do medium. Although it could put you in a little bit of a bad position. It's hard tires actually for a proverb. Mediums for Kingan. Chris, I believe, on hards.
Yeah, I think you're right then. So, medium, hard, and hard right there. Incut Gill as well. He's got a penalty. By the way, 3 seconds. But you're on the front safety car. Remember, that is a delta loss. That is now under 10 seconds. That's a huge gain they have made in this race. So, I mean, why not? Why not throw the gamble here? We are on the front safety car. I'm surprised more didn't come in when you had the opportunity to, of course, unless they're gambling on a safety car. And it is a very long virtual safety car. It should be in within the next few seconds, I imagine, as you come past now. 1 lap since it came out, pretty much. Says, oh, Aiden with a drive-through penalty for speeding onto the virtual safety car, as well as Matthias. Both of them caught out, and that's so easy to do. They are coming through the S section, so they'll be diving in straight away. But Jason leads. Behind them there, Jamie and Jacko battling again. Jacko around the outside there, and that's brave as you come into the section of which is the stadium. But it is the Mercedes ahead of the Ferrari. The Ferrari trying to fight back. Not going to be doing it straight now, but we'll get the help of DRS. But Jacko, that's a very brave move right there, isn't it? And Jamie starting with the DRS. Then, of course, Matthias comes in to serve that drive-through. Paddy behind him, the other Mercedes as well. Jamie trying to go around the outside, compromises his line though. And this is O'Sullivan then. We're riding aboard with the Mercedes driver, following, of course, his fellow compatriot Mercedes ahead. And now this could be an opportunity then. Let's see with DRS, with both of DRS then. They'll be brave. Jamie's going to force him to go long round around the outside. And then what he'll do, brake a little bit later, go a little bit wider. And of course, tighten his lineup. You can't really make a move down into this corner very easily. You can see Sully trying to take a wide line. That's not going to work too much. So, far green flags, of course, flying from the marshals. But, of course, it is Jason. And you, like you mentioned, he'll be going for another set of soft tyres, surely.
Probably. You would think he can at this point. Obviously, he's able to manage that lead, 3.2 seconds. He should be happy with that. Although, you will have to think about the likes of Kingan, who have took advantage of that virtual safety car to make a cheap pit stop. So you would probably need to then go soft, medium, soft, or soft, soft, medium in order to maybe try cover off the VSC gap.
Yeah, meanwhile, Sally passing and getting through, then on the inside of Jamie. Can't do a lot there. Jamie seems to be struggling with the rear end a little bit in the Ferrari. It just doesn't look like it's going to be biting then. He won't get a double bite at the DRS. Of course, as Sully pulls away, like gives him a little bit of a slipstream. How kind of him there, just saying. You can have a bit of slipstream right there behind Infamous in the Alpha Tauri. Following behind there, but you can definitely see that Ferrari not looking very planted on those tyres. And I believe, surely he's going to be coming in soon because he's just losing a bit of touch right now, isn't he?
So, honestly, just look here. Actually, Mercedes at Jacko is closing in on Jason. That is very, very interesting here, as it might prove that Jason, despite his lead, could be in a little bit of trouble.
Yep, Jacko getting a bit between his teeth there, just pissing on a little bit right now as roves those curves. Want to be careful not doing that too much because it's so easy just to pick up some damage. Further back, like we said, we've got the car of Jamie. We've got Infamous now potentially trying to line up. Has Jamie got some DRS, however? Just about. He's going to have a bit of DRS, but let's see, with the help of that double toe as well, is Infamous just about able to close up ever so slightly. King and further back down the field, by the way, he has got the fastest lap of this race in 8th position. He is one of those drivers that has stopped already, so potentially on a very, very good strategy. Sullivan with a slight time penalty for going wide at turn 2 and 3, but the status quo lined between those drivers right there.
Obviously now, you have to look to see what can those down below, Aiden, Matthias, and the Alpine, those of you having a giggle, mate, are there's a lot of ground to make up. Do you think any of these guys would be able to maybe just catch back up in there at some point in the race, or?
Safety car here, it's pretty probable. I think it's about a 70% chance of a safety car, especially with these curbs. We've already had one retirement from this race. That was Storm. He has confirmed he got on the curb. That is why he's dropped it. But like you say, yeah, definitely possible to come back through in this race with a safety car. As in comes Jason now then from your race lead. And this is going to be critical then. A set of medium tyres. Let's see where he comes out compared to Kingan. Kingan just coming across the line right now. And he's going to be way ahead of this. He's going to be around about 10-15 seconds nearly, isn't he, there?
He is...
5 seconds. Oh, Matthias, he's dropped it at the, where has he dropped it there? That's that safety car. And let's see, on board him having a giggle, mate. How has he done that? He's got on the outside curb and that's a weird place to drop it. The front wing hasn't gone. I don't know if the rear tyre's gone, but just enough damage to put him out this race. As in comes Giggle. This is really going to play into Jacko and Sully's hand now, isn't it?
Well, Sully will need to probably try and make a gap here. Otherwise he'll just be a victim of double stack. Although, this is now brought Infamous, who is on pole position. He's now back in this one. Not selected Jess. She's in a great place too. And well, the Red Bull here of the Red Bull Waze. Yeah, that's it, thank you. Is also going to be back in this one now, because that drive-through has pretty much been wiped now thanks to the opportunity for a cheap pit stop.
Yeah, you most certainly right there. So in comes your gaggle of cars. We'll see everyone on that set of soft tyres. This is actually pretty much directly on that soft tyre thing, as yet you can see, Sully is double stacking. Oh, this is just painful. Oh, never mind, he's teleported out. This is less painful. Camera, where are you? Game? There we go.
Maintains the lead.
Yeah.
And it's half worked out from half not. Obviously, he's in the lead. But now he's probably on a compromise enough strategy.
Yeah, Whopping Proverb, meanwhile, he's done his second stop of this afternoon, so a set of soft tyres then for Whopping Proverb, and you having a giggle as well, done his second stop. Aiden West also has done his second stop as well. So a few people have done their first mandatory stops of this afternoon. It's good to see Yuri in the chat, good old friend of ours, as well, saying hello. So good to see that one, but of course it is Keegan, Jason, Jacko on a podium right now in third position in that Mercedes. Then comes Jamie, and then further down the order we've got Infamous O'Sullivan, Smith, Jess in a very dandy 8th position right there for her. Waze in 9th, Whopping Proverb in 10th, Aiden, and you having a couple 2 retirements of this race, that Matthias and Storm. Of course, 1 VSC, 1 safety car. The last one, of course, that was Matthias. Dropped it out of the, out of this section right here. Hit the wall, which is such an odd way to hit the wall. I don't remember seeing many cars, but what I'm guessing what he's done, he's got on that curb on the outside whilst turning. It's just spat him round into the wall, and Well, you can see the answer to what's happened to that because we are on to safety car.
So yep, on the safety car, and let's see tyres now. We have top 4 mediums, then Infamous on the soft tyre, Sully medium, Smithy, Chris on the hard, Jess medium, Red Bull West on the soft along with Proverb, then Aiden West on medium, and having the Giggle Mate on medium as well. So yeah, a bit of variety here. Most people are probably now going to go for the softs on their second stop, although like the Infamous now are going to probably need to start making some moves in order to get full benefit of having the soft tyre here.
Yeah, indeed, you're totally right. Like, you want to get a move on as soon as you possibly can here. As I do apologise, I'm getting a little bit dizzy right now, but nonetheless, we should be fine. Right there, but Infamous in 5th position. Jamie in 4th, Jacko in 3rd. We are under safety car. And yeah, Kingan leads this race still. Long way to go, of course. We've got, what, some 25 laps to go. Here we are on lap 10, if my maths is correct, which usually is, and safety cars should be in right now. There we are. Hello, thank you, safety car, very much. He wants to come in right now, just as we want to say it. As now the long ride, the long road down towards the last corner, and it is all going to be about where can Keegan get the jump.
Yeah, so obviously long straight, it does mean slipstream is hard enough to avoid, especially on a safety car restart. But if you can time it right, whatever slipstream won't really make a difference. Well, it looks like Jason, he's got an absolute blinder of a restart here, and he's going to be side by side down the main straight. Although it looks like the Williams is starting to pull a little bit, so probably I have a little more straight line speed. But now, as it heads down to turn 1, lay on the brakes. It keeps to the right, and now needs to try to switch back. As it looks like a...
Oh! They've hit each other. I'll tell you what, Jacko, somebody go over this. Jacko's gone off somewhere. I believe he went off on the restart there. I definitely noted him dropping at the back, but here is Jason. Trying up the inside, down the inside. Comes the AlphaTauri. What a late move then from him. But can he get it stopped? Further down, we got Waze up a few positions as well. He's now up, coming through the field. Infamous getting a move on, but what terrible luck from Mr. Jacko right there. He's down in 12th. We don't know what happened, but he's definitely not gone the right way because he's now dropped himself all the way to the back of the field and he's going to have a long run back through. Luckily, though, he's not too far back. He's still got a long race still to come. Infamous looking to try and get past. Wobbing Proverb getting past Smithy then on those tyres. Late braking. Aiden West also dropping down behind. You having a giggle, but the first few cars starting to make their runs up through the order. As Infamous now trying to make a move then pretty quickly. The next one up will be of Jamie Met then. The Ferrari, your championship leader, with a bit of help of VRS. He's going to be forced to go the long way around the outside. The question is, can he do the long way around the outside? Sullivan, I believe, battling with Waze in the background. Let's see then, they braking. Is anyone better to do it? Well, no, Infamous. Straight around the outside, up into now for Italy, 3rd position. This is turning out to be a good recovery drive then from him. Further back, you can see Sully battling with Waze. Wait on that upset soft tyres, passing the Mercedes. Lohazzi on the brakes. Are we going to see Sully trying to go back up the inside? No, just can't quite do it. That back out of that move. So Waze also coming through this field, isn't he?
So see, Infamous, he's doing what he has to do at the moment, but he would probably like to get another overtake or two done to get the lead, and then make him put himself in the best position to make this strategy work. It would be the same for the Red Bull in 5th. Can you do that? And even Whopping Proverb in 7th.
You having a giggle? You having a giggle? Is Tron giggling around? And contact there, we believe that was with Jess there. Contact there as you having a giggle. Well, he's not having any more giggles right now. DRS has been enabled, but he tried to get the inside right there. Just didn't have enough grip, ran out of space and just ended up slightly tapping. Here is Waze closing up on Jamie. Up front, you got Infamous closing up on Kingan. As Whopping Proverb passing Sully there down into all turn one. Both the all three of those soft runners now coming up through the field. And let's just see then with Infamous. Is he going to go to the inside? He's going to force to go around the outside. He's just going to slightly brake later here, but like I said, brave to go around the outside into turn 5 and 6. For back, you can just see everyone slotting into their positions as well. He got a nice little train for all the orders right there. Jamie holding on to 4th position, doing a good job. Everyone has done their first stop this afternoon. A few have done their second stop as well. That, of course, of Whopping Proverb. We've got as well having a giggle also done their second stop. So Proverb can go a long way, but of course he will have to stop later on. Of course he is on those tyres. Is off. There is Jacko, and he could go from bad. It's gone to worse.
Yeah, it's all went wrong from a perfectly timed safety car to make it, to give him a great position to get some good points. It's now kind of gone wrong. We need the safety car just to catch back up at this point.
Yeah, Wade on Jamie. Jamie's not going to fight this one too heavily. But in fact, he's giving a bit of a squeeze down the straight there, but isn't going to force an issue right there, as Wade's now ahead of Jamie. Whopping Proverb is almost, well, he almost whopped the rear end of Jamie right there. We'll get another dose of DRS, and let's see if he can make any move. Infamous has got past King. Only won't be long before he gets past his teammate as well. As you can see, the Haas passing the Ferrari up to your top 2, by the way, as Jason is, well, taking new lines through that corner right there, getting a time penalty for good cause, and I will not be surprised to see him moving aside for his teammate.
So now it is V1 and 2 here for the AlphaTauris. And Infamous will be looking, maybe, can I get past my teammate? You'll probably praying he can, because, well, you can't really afford to lose time behind a medium runner at this point.
Yeah, we've got a good run with the DRS, of course. Jason, I don't think is going to put up a fight either. No, he does not. Futile effort if he wanted to, but of course the AlphaTauris, both teammates as well. And now Infamous can give that run there. Further back, Kingan in third. Wade's now starting to close up as well. Don't forget, by the way, these tyres due to probably come in at around about lap 20 to lap 22. I believe. We'll have a look on how long they stayed on those tyres. 5 laps, so around about lap 18 onwards, really. Lap 18 to 20 is when they're going to come in for another set of soft tyres, or, well, set of medium speed saying. Wade's having a look at the inside of Kingan. Kingan giving a little bit of a wide berth right there. Doesn't want to force an issue, but Wade's with a beautiful undercut down the inside, and that, a corner which I said was very difficult to make an overtake. Well, not anymore. Kingan just has slot in behind of the Red Bull driver. Next behind, of course, we've got Whopping Proverb, and then we've got Sully and Jamie battling together. Jamie now behind Sully as you drop through the field. Smith in 8th, Jess in a lovely 9th position so far. Aiden in a beautiful 10th. You having a giggle in 11th, and Jacko, I will say, probably in a little bit of a dejected 12th.
Yeah, this Grand Prix has went from very nice to very bad very quickly for Jacko. Although I do think if there was no safety car, he would be well able to take the opportunity to make some form of recovery. So like the AlphaTauris now, if they can work together, they will get a 1-2 here. On track anyway.
Yeah, most certainly indeed, but we'll get into that during this race. But you can see they're looking to the outside line. Whopping Proverb, late braking, then let's see, can he do around the outside? A late braking, though, that almost looked too late, but somehow he got it stopped up the inside. Whopping Proverb, Kingan, they're forced to go slightly wide. Holds that position, though, a time penalty leads to still sparring away. Again, Kingan off the road. Again, this time, finally has to back up, but a great little scrap between those two.
So, making moves. That is, was he now for the Red Bull and Haas here, Whopping Proverb in 4th and West in 3rd. they need to... Well, are these softwares giving up a bit? Maybe, but they'll have to just try, make the most of them, close up a bit to Jason ahead, and then you should be in an okay place then for when you make your pit stop, because that undercut period is going to be important.
Yeah, most certainly you are correct there. Further back through the field, we've got Jamie closing up. A little bit of a silent period again here as I say that. Sullivan there now also looking at the back of Keegan as these guys starting to close up more and more and more. And it's all getting very interesting down here right now. I tell you what, by the way, don't forget we do have some weekly rankings, by the way, of a load of the good drivers so far in this field. And in this field, we've got Sully. He's got a quali rank of 9.6 and a race rank of 16, meaning he's got a grand total of 80. The top scorer, I believe, in this tier. That is Infamous. That is, of course, on 88. He's got a 10.2 for qualifying. He's also got an 18 for his race rank as well. So, quite good to see there, Infamous. He's definitely got a lot of pace, and it really proves it because he's leading this race so far, and he's got a bit of a gap he has still to stop. But I tell you what, if he keeps his pace up, and he's going to come in, I believe, in the next 3 laps for a set of medium tyres, looking pretty good, isn't it?
Looking alright there for them, yeah. A little bit of battling here going on between 10th to 11th. Aiden West trying to get past the Alpine ahead. Maybe. Well, looks like the Alpine's got a very nice exit out there. Aiden West might have to bide his time. Maybe. I see DRS now. He'll be close, but not really by enough.
Yeah, most certainly. Meanwhile, Infamous still leads its race. Well, nothing's changed between those two. Wapping Rover is close there. Sullivan still closing up to the back of King, and who's slightly dropping back on those tyres right now. It's good to see as my laptop's finally cooled down enough so I can put it back on my lap without burning my legs off, which is always good to see. But there we are. So I can get back to looking at the lovely tabs and all of your lovely messages as well on the dashboard, of course, whilst we're looking at it. And it is
3 seconds.
Yeah, Infamous 3-second time, but a good spot right there. Running a little bit too wide. Now, that's not going to do too much in the grand scheme of things, but that's going to be a bit of an issue later on in this race, I presume.
Yeah, although I think he is doing very nicely in terms of managing his tyres. Looks like he's still got less tyre wear than Jason, who's on the medium, as it seems like others are struggling much more. The Red Bull width is 34, around 34, but 49 is the worst tyre in Proverb.
So yeah, Infamous is driving very well right now without any issues in this race. Looking through at Kingan as well, 34%. Infamous somehow making these tyres last. He's on that 9, and he's normally when I'd say you're getting time to pit soon, but Infamous has got some kind of strategy right now. I don't know what he's done to these tyres. I think the FIA might have to check them after this. And he's got better tyres than Smith. He's got better tyres than everyone really on this field, doesn't he?
Probably low pressures. Well, they'd have to be low enough around here.
Yeah, indeed. Well, he's pushing onwards. 3.1 seconds further down the field. We've got Sully there behind King, and that's the only real battle with Jamie just behind him. So those three together. Further down the field, like we said, we'll go through the official rundown whilst we are just here. We are on that 19 of 36, which is, I believe, what 18 laps to go. So we are about half distance. We've got Infamous, Jason, Waze, Proverb, Kingan, Sully, Jamie, Smith, Jess, Giggle, Aiden, and then Jacko. Don't forget, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, we do have, is it Podium? I think it's Podium the next up right now. I believe that should also be live around about now, though someone can confirm that, because as per usual, I always get those guys mixed up with other tiers. But I definitely believe it is that which is up next.
Yeah, it's Podium, after that, then it's Precision, and then finally Pinnacle.
Yeah, thank you for correcting me right there. Always get those guys mixed up. But of course, don't forget, by the way, do, if you are new, to hit the subscribe, to hit the notification bar, hit all the buttons you like. Don't forget, you can follow us. And if you're watching on YouTube, do also hit the like and subscribe and that notification bar. And thank you, Cam, for confirming. And I am correct here today right now here in Mexico. I'm a little bit dizzy. I tell you what, race is caught right up to Jason.
Yeah, he's caught up now. But obviously, with penalties, he will be ahead anyways. I think the main thing now would be if you can get past Jason and then just be within the 3 seconds of Infamous, because then that's where the race can be won.
Yeah, most certainly. You want to push, you want to fight, you want to do as much as you can, but wait, with the help of DRS, let's see, is Jason going to defend this? Ever so slightly heavier, in comes Whopping Proverb into the pit lane, that promotes Sully. Is Jason going to go defending? Let's see, yes he is going to go defending. Let's see, is he going to try late braking? They touch, they ever so slightly touch. This is late braking, this is brave. Can't quite do it. Can't quite do it. Ray's there with a little bit more optimism on the brakes. Well, Jason taking new lines through that corner, might I say. And not really paying off too much. You having a giggle passing Jess. Meanwhile, down there for 9th and 8th position. But Jason now dropping behind the Red Bull driver. Further down the field, you can see Keegan all on the back of Sully now. So Sully looks like he's got past Keegan just a few moments ago.
Well, Infamous, it is looking okay for him. 3.9. I'd say they'd like to just keep it there at the moment, because that second gap is what he needs just to ensure that the win is his no matter what, really. All he'll have to do now is come into the pit soon and maybe just pick the lap he wants to make that switch.
Well, surely he can stretch it. I mean, what's his tyres looking like right
we
now?
got Red Bull in.
That's Waze in as well. So yeah, Waze on that set of soft tyres. He can't go the distance. Those tyres, by the way, they were very worn as well. But yeah, only 37-40% tyre wear right now. They're doing incredibly well. They're doing better than Sully, Jamie, Smith. The only one who has got better tyres is Jess right now, of all the guys that have, well, the guys and girls that are on tyres right now that haven't stopped. So that really just shows how good Infamous is putting these tyres.
Proverb, actually, I think this has worked out. I believe he's closer than it was to the Red Bull before the pit stops. Infamous might want to make a stop now.
Yeah, you might want to make your stop sooner or later, but then you got to think. I mean, how's the gap? Is it opening? Is it dropping? It looks like it's opening still ever so slightly. I don't know how much more pace he's got, but surely if he wants to try and stretch it, he can. But like you said, risk versus reward. If we get any incidents, you could close the field up. You could get caught in the wrong position. Of course, he'll have the Delta, but are we going to see him in the pits just to prove my point? Well, he's going to come in, so there we are. So even though his tyres are new, well, not new, the 12 lap old, but they're fresh-ish. Comes in the pit lane. Jason now leads this race. Sully will now take up the position as well. Jamie, Smith, you having a giggle? And there you can see Wade passing Jess. You can see Robin Proverb trying to pass Jess. Jesslow not going to give anyone an in right there. Doesn't have to, so he's going to fight for a position he can do right now, though. I think Robin Proverb, with a bit of help of DRS, you can see the Williams got a bit of straight line speed as well. And let's see, is he going to try and dive up the inside? Jess has got a really good setup here in terms of straight line speed. Can't do it.
Well, I'd say this is hurting Whopping Proverb. It's good work from the undercut. It's being that probably will want to get past, because if he maybe like if he needs to stick with the Red Bull in order to pass. So he just put up a very good fight, but eventually it's just with older tyres you can't really do all that much.
Oh, Smith 3-second penalty. That just, I think, just ever so slightly letting Proverb go to fight her own race. Of course, you got Jacko and Keegan behind. Those two still sparring away. Of course, we saw them earlier on, I believe, getting a bit close. But Jacko, of course, on those tyres that are a little bit worse for wear. We've got Keegan coming at him like a ballistic missile right now. A bit of a twitch on the rear end. Let's see. With DRS, I don't think Jacko's going to fight this one. No, up the inside. Here goes Keegan down the inside. And Jacko says, after you, my friend. And Keegan there saying, thank you very much, sunshine. I'll take that one. Jason in the pit for a new set of medium tyres. And away he will go. Any second. There we go. Teleports out of the pit lane. Race fastest lap of this race on the set of medium tyres. Here comes Infamous battling with You Having a Giggle. You Having a Giggle there on the inside line, the outside line for the AlphaTauri, and the AlphaTauri holds on to that position there. But like you said, Jason now dropping down to 8th position.
Yep, so Jason, well, on new mediums, you would have wondered maybe if you would have pushed it a little longer and just went for soft tyres, just to try something. But I suppose he probably just feels like the mediums are a little easier, plus he knows them. However, I would say the Red Bull here is actually done very well. The undercut worked, although it's losing its hard work right now with the Alpine just holding it a bit, honestly, on older tyres. But it feels like he needs to get past, nearly be better get past here for the sake of it.
Brave!
He's down the inside.
That's too brave!
It's all wrong.
And, don't want to flick spin in front of other cars. Here comes Jess. They're all just about going to avoid each other. Jess, they're actually playing with Kingan right there. But that, unfortunately, you can see he's really hitting those tyres up right there. That is pushing it. Optimistic. Jess comes in the pit lane. Getting out of the way. Careful, Jacko. Careful, Sunshine. Waze has got very struggling tyres. Here comes Jacko. Waze there. Pushing a little bit too heavily. Warn those tyres. They're very hot. There goes. Let's see. Is he going to try back up the inside? No, he's not. But I feel sorry for Waze right there. Just hear those tyres up, tried up the inside. He didn't have to do it right there and then, but he thought he needed to. And that is your inner racing instinct coming through. Oh. A lot of people got penalties in this race. Only 4 haven't. That is Jamie, Proverb, Waze, and also Jess hasn't got a penalty yet either in this race. And I tell you what, those guys all on a set of soft tyres, all going to the end of this race.
Yeah, see, no penalties is a benefit. And obviously Proverb needs to put in a little bit of work. Just all it takes is 2 tenths from now until the end, and he can take the win, provisionally anyway. As Jamie actually in the pits now. See, I'm assuming this will be for soft tyres.
Yeah, be a no-brainer. Yep, set of soft tyres right there, and let's see where he's going to come out in all this. I think he'll be around about where Jacko is. A little bit behind Jacko, a little bit behind actually is Waze. Getting past Jacko actually as there those two go past, and actually just behind that as well. So he's behind O'Sully, who has just stopped, I believe, as well. Looking at the tyres, he's on 0 lap old tyres as well. So Sully, who's just stopped, Jamie, who's just stopped as well. So 7th downwards there, we're all on nice tyres. Jacko is going to come in, he'll drop down the order ever so slightly as well. But again, looking good so far for everyone throughout this field. We've got only, I believe only it is Jacko still to come in the stops, isn't it?
Yeah, Jacko is... his tyres are... they're worn, I would say. Fairly worn. 48, 42, 44, 41. He probably would like to come in for a pit stop. 48, 49, 43, 45, 42 now.
Yeah, you reckon he's going to come in this lap, you reckon? Or you reckon he'll stay out maybe one more?
I'd say he'll come in this lap. If you've seen Jamie come in, you'd probably feel like better to come in now and just take the pain. Or no, he's staying out. Maybe he feels like this is the best way to do it.
That's doing some defensive driving there from Jacko, just saying hello to his pit boards. There goes Jamie saying hello to him, and there goes Jamie saying goodbye to him. As Jamie dispatches Jacko, as Jacko now going onwards. Look, I reckon Jacko has done 2 stops, if I'm not mistaken, hasn't he?
If I check stops, no, he's only done 1.
Never mind.
Will have to again.
I thought if he'd done 2nd stop, he would have tried to come in. Is he gambling on a safety car, you reckon? That's the only thing surely he's doing. Kingan, 3-second time penalty. Kingan, getting all out of shape.
Suppose a gamble like this, it's not like he'll gain that much by pitting now, like at the end of the lap. So I suppose it is just Just try something and hope you get a little bit of luck.
Yeah, if he comes in now, he'll come out probably behind Jess in the Williams, I believe. Will definitely come behind Giggle. Let's see, is Jacko going to come in this lap then? This is the real opportunity. If he's going to stop, he's going to be within the next 2 laps, unless he thinks these tyres are just going to go off the cliff. Meanwhile, Sully closing up to the back of Way, so this is the battle for 5th position, and Sully, well, I'd say it's a battle. It was more of an overtake with no comeback, because DRS so powerful here in Mexico, because he punts a hole straight through the air, and we're on such high altitude. I think it's about 2 kilometers in the air around here, so DRS extremely powerful.
Yeah, DRS extremely powerful. Long straights, and usually if you're just a couple of tenths behind, you really have a solid chance of being right alongside going into the braking zone, especially for the long straight.
Oh, yellow flags, oh. Jason's dropped it right there, and he was running in 3rd, but he'd be fine. Well, he might not be fine if he's right there in the middle of the racing line, but somehow he's avoided. Now must be careful of his tyres, as going off in the background, Jacko taking new lines, but Jason with a bit of an issue right there, lit those tyres up, presumably got on the curb and dropped it, and that's rotten luck for the man who was running in a net 3rd position, now down in 8th. And that is almost so close to dropping it again. But what rotten luck.
Yeah, and well, it's just not really worked down there. Now he's got 9 seconds penalties with, well, just no real chance of gaining anything now. And obviously his teammate looks like he will be the winner of this race. As it seems like Whopping Proverb just can't seem to avoid the tyre wear as half as well as Infamous is. Because I can tell you, there's nearly double the tyre wear for Proverb compared to Infamous.
Yeah, Infamous just driving somehow with so little tyre wear. Of course, the tyres, by the way, they are. But Proverb with 3-lap-old tyres, Kingham with a time penalty as well. This is not looking very good. Because look, Sully's not too far behind. Sully on the podium right now. Way's on potential for a podium. Jamie Met also looking like that podium opportunity could come his way, because the guys ahead of him are 3 and 9 seconds. Looks like it could be one of 2, well, could be one of 4 ways, I suppose. It could be anyone's guess. Further about Smith, he's got a 3-second. Jason with a 9, and Jason's off yet again. And that was coming through the last corner. It wasn't like those rears up. Comes into the pit lane. But Jason having a torrid time.
Oh, we got some moves here. Sully and Kingan having a battle. Sully on the soft compound tyres. Looks like it's not going too badly for him.
Yeah, he needs to make that move pretty quickly. He did there. Just wants to try and get that position now up into 3rd. Now, can he try and do anything? He's on what? His tyres are 4-lap olds. Can he close up? Can he try and close up to Proverb in 6 laps? It's possible. It's unlikely, but it's possible to do it. I mean, depends how much more tyre pace he's got in it before they start dropping off. Jamie as well is going to be choosing the opportunity then to try and get into 4th, because he's closing up on Waze, and also that'll be on Kingan as well, because remember those two on a set of mediums. Behind Smithy, Giggle, then Jess. Running there with, we've got Aiden and also Jacko to keep her company there down in 9th, 10th, 11th. Jason as well down in 12th, had that stop. And I tell you what, like we said of Jacko, if it could go wrong, it's gone from bad to very much worse.
Yeah, sometimes just not your day. You can just have a spin, maybe another, just you try and try. You seem to have a bit of pace, but then just can't use it.
Yeah, most certainly. A little bit squiggle there for Waze as he comes through into turn number 1. We've got now 6 laps to go in this race. I tell you what, Kingan, if you want to keep carrying that line, be ahead. I mean, it's an interesting strategy there, taking that line. I mean, it might work, but it's not really the racetrack. Like, I don't think, I don't think there's any rules events going against a little bit wide right there, but new lines around Mexico City, eh?
Yeah, sometimes they work. Because, yeah, obviously, it means you don't really have to turn as much. And it means you can probably keep a high enough speed. But you just have to do enough to make sure you don't get penalised for going that wide.
Yeah, most certainly, that's the key thing. You don't want to get penalised in this race, especially when you're in a battle here where you've got a lot of cars together. Your order, by the way, still infamous lead from Proverb. Then we've got Sully, Keegan, Waze, Jamie, Smith, Giggle, Jess, Jack. Oh, who's just passed Aiden, and Jacko now going to chase down Jess quickly in the meantime, as we're looking here. Up the front, I believe, also be staying status quo. Is Jacko going to try up the inside of Chesley, braking? Jess gives a wide berth to Jacko, and Jacko steams up through into 9th position there.
I suppose Jacko was just trying to salvage something for Jess. I think the focus here now is just to try keep within the 3 seconds, because then she'll gain the position back.
Oh, look at this gaggle of cars. As Aiden looks to make a move on Jess now. Is Aiden going to try up the inside? No, not going to make a move up the inside right there. But like I was saying, we've got this gaggle of cars here. It's 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th position, all in a nice little line right now. Jamie trying to close up on Waze. Waze, though, trying to close up on Kingan. Kingan trying to stick with Sully. Sully trying to close up on Proverb. And Proverb just minding his own business right now in 2nd position. And up front, Infamous on course with 4 laps to go to win here in Mexico. As Kingan, well, that's not what he wants to be doing. Getting another penalty. And I think this might be Waze's opportunity here with DRS. I don't think Kingan's got any. He's got no ERS either. Though, let's see, is Kingan might have to do some defending driving. No, he's not going to do it. He's going to allow through goes Wasteland. And that was that's surprising on the inside there for a second. Smithy looking, can't quite do it either. As these guys continue to scrap. Is Kingan going to try anything then? He's got no DRS. He's dropping back down the order, and now he's got 2 hungry puppy dogs right behind him. That is the Ferrari and the Alpine, just sitting behind, just waiting behind, just to try and take that 5th position. And they don't even need to fight it too much, Jamie, because remember, with that penalty, of course, it is 12 seconds for Kingan, which will drop him down. Well, it'll drop him down 1 position at least. It'll drop him down behind Jamie and Smithy.
So Jamie here actually in a very nice place. It looks like he'll be able to jump up. Is he able to get up to the podium, if I'm not mistaken? Because of the penalties.
Jamie is, I believe it'll be close to get a podium, but of course Sully, with those soft tyres, is pushing. The gap is, if I'm not mistaken, looking at it here, it is to the leader will go on there because it's slightly easier. As I think Chris has actually got past Jamie. So 11.9, so 8, so 4 seconds, 3.7 seconds. It's around about 3 to 4 seconds right there between those guys. But like I said, these guys all battling. It's not going to help. But Jamie just off the podium. He'll definitely get 4th in this race. As long as he doesn't get a penalty, of course. But getting a penalty is easier said than, well, it's harder said than, well, wait, no. It's easier done than said. We'll say it that way.
Yeah, avoiding a penalty is, well, easier said than done.
Yes. As there you can see, Jamie just holding that position right now. He's now got Smithy, who's hoping to push, but yeah, Jamie's starting to drop back as well, ever so slightly. But 11 seconds. Tell you what, Proverb is just tantalizingly out of that gap. He's 3.8 seconds. 3.9 seconds. He's just there. If Infamous makes a small mistake, it's all over.
So, well, not too much now. Whopping Proverb probably won't be able to win this race, even with the penalty for Infamous. So, oh, Smithy Chris, that's another that'll definitely see him drop down.
And Kingen as well.
Yeah, Kingen 15. It'd be interesting. Where did he actually get to 15?
Well, he's
just
I think it's just track extensions there. I've looked. I haven't seen any for a 5 second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So
yeah, just penalties. I think in the second half of the race, it's just not really worked out.
Yeah, especially with these tyres. I mean, they're definitely wearing. Smithy also struggling with grip. Jamie, you can see struggling with grip ever so slightly as well with the dirty air. Oh, Kingen almost hit the wall there. Oh, now he's going to get... Now he is under trouble. Here comes. That is brave. He has to cut the corner just to avoid him. Oh, Kingen
I think Jamie's going to be furious. This is a chance for a really nice place or result to go with the win. It's going to slip it away now because the two ahead are slowing each other down by fighting. They nearly want to just get ahead in this last lap and see where he can end up.
Let's see. Smithy around the outside. We've got yellow flags in the background for something. Around the outside. Has he got it stopped? Yes, he has it off. Jamie with a stonking move around the outside of Kingen as well. Well, look at that there for Jamie up into 6th position. What a lovely little move around the outside. And now he can try to get that 4th position. He'll definitely get 4th. He might get 3rd. I don't know what the gap is. It'll be close. It'll be close. I'll say that much. I think he might just be about that delta. But anything's possible. Meanwhile, through the last 2 corners, here comes the one who is going to be hoping for a nice run of form. It is, of course, the AlphaTauri. It is, of course, of Infamous. Comes through the last corner. He'll win here in Mexico City. Across the line he comes. Next up, whopping Proverb. He's got low fuel. He crossed the line in 2nd. Sully, is he going to finish 3rd? He'll cross the line in 3rd on track. Is Jamie got it? No, is the answer. 4/10 of a second.
Even still, I'd say I'd be happy enough with that.
Yeah, you having a giggle? He'll cross the line in 8th. Then, of course, will come Jacko, Aiden West, and then Jess, and then Jason, who's just about caught up to the back of the pack after that issue earlier on. But doing good so far. Jess carrying on her merry way. Another point-scoring result for her, and she'll finish in 10th position, which is nice as well. Sully with the in-game driver of the day right there. But what a nice little race that was, wasn't it? What's your opinion? What would you rate that out of 10?
I would say that's a solid 7 out of 10. You got a good race there. It wasn't absolute mayhem every single lap, but it was a nice race to see. And I'll say my driver today would probably have to go to Infamous because he managed to recover from the start and win. So that answer my question would be, did you think you had a chance to win after the start of the race?
Yeah, indeed, as I just want to say, by the way, hope Evan is okay. I've just seen he's had to go to the doctors, I believe. So I hope he gets better soon. But my driver of the day, as I look through, I've got to have to give it to I don't know, who did you give it to again? I forgot.
Well, you gave it to Infamous.
So there we go. So I'm going to give it to Jamie, who finished. He had a storming drive, getting 4th position. And my question to him is, throughout that race, the championship leader, you might have lost it ever so slightly, but a storming drive, how did you find that out there on what is a very difficult circuit? And that there, both the questions. But on that bombshell, I will round it up, of course. So, of course, the next tier can go live in the next few moments. But I have been him, of course. Brendan has joined me as well. Until next time, take care and goodbye.